Welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today, on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, I wanted to go ahead and talk about sometimes you got to smile through the pain. Why you gotta smile through the pain? An example from an anime about smiling through the pain. All up next on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. After this intro. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Like I said before, we're getting into today. I wanted to go ahead and discuss, you gotta smile through the pain. But before we get there, like always, since we just, solo just get back into the flow of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, and I don't have a guest. Still working on that. I want to go over a few things and go over last week episodes and do a recap. Now, before we do the recap, what's up, man? How's everybody's doing? How's y'all weeks doing? Y'all doing all right? Y'all doing okay? Everybody's all right? All right. You. And also, man, I just wanted to go ahead and just thank you for actually joining me here on my corner of the universe and whatsoever. And also, if you also a content creator or a creative in general or whatsoever, or you got products that you want to be featured in Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, please let me know down in the comments. Just let me know so we can go ahead and just work with something, Just work with something. Just flip it. So, anyways, let's get straight into the recap from now on. So, now on last week's episode on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we was getting into the hard reboot. Yeah, and mainly what we need to do once we do a hard reboot and so forth and so on. And I'm not gonna lie, my brain had got a little twisted there. It got a little. So, and I could say that was actually a good moment as well too, because it helps me to get better at doing Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, because I just don't want to just spew out just shit. I just want to have a dialect with y'all, like a very deep dialect and whatsoever. So, anyways, and sometimes you do got to do a hard reboot, man. I mean, I have to do a hard reboot like every once in a while. I just got done doing a hard reboot. And that's the thing. Sometimes you just got to do a hard reboot to reset everything so you can start fresh and start with a clean slate and whatsoever and a nice, fresh mindset. because the thing is, we accumulate a lot of shit when it comes down to it. We accumulate a lot, and doing a hard reboot will actually help you out a lot. Now, what do I really mean by about a hard reboot? Like, we're gonna pull this one real quick, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about it later on. But a PC, a computer, there's two types of restart that you could do on a PC. The first, well, to make it quick, because we're gonna explain that a little later. Mainly, you just have to completely just unplug the power and then plug it back in, or something in those lines, to do a hard reboot, to really just get all those nooks and crannies. You just got to get those nooks and crannies to clean that out. And the main reason why we do those hard reboots is to take those nooks and crannies out, because a lot of times we buried a lot of things, and then there's a few things that get buried really deep in us. It's just, oh, I wish I could say all of this last week, man. But we are getting better with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. It's starting to get more natural with me as well too. And like I explained with me, we're gonna get back into a little bit of what's going on with me. But anyways, I know I'm just going everywhere. That's how my mind works. Okay, deal with it. You're in the content right now. So, and then now back to the PC and with things. Now, like I said before, there are two types of reboot. There's like the soft reboot. I don't know what's the correct term, so we're just gonna say, for simplicity's sake, the soft reboot and the hard reboot. Soft one, you just probably just put it on sleep mode or something, and that's it. It's just even though it's not using that much power, there are still systems and tasks that's being run like way in the background. Now with the hard reboot, you unplugged everything and everything just goes to a halt, stops right there, bam. And that's how you gotta really think about it. And just like PCs, just like any type of technology, you gotta actually recalibrate too. You ought to think of this as a recalibration, because things get old pretty quickly, and things needs to be recalibrated and whatsoever. So just for example, so I play a lot of video games. One of the consoles I play, or systems, one of the consoles I play is the Xbox. So let's say we have a brand new TV. So the TV's like, slightly different than the previous TV I had. Maybe it's a little bigger and whatsoever. So you sit there, you put the Xbox on there, you plug it in, you turn it on, bam, there it is. But you have to adjust the settings of the display so it can fit on the new TV. So what you're going to have to do, you got to recalibrate everything to fit on the TV. So that's what you gotta do, man. Just whenever you do a reboot, you be able to recalibrate and just reset everything and put it nice and snug, like bam. And once again, like I said before, as for myself, I recently just got done doing a hard reboot as well too. So as for now, as the moment of this recording and the moment of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze is coming into interview and whatsoever. I'm slowly going back into the standard that I was getting at. So, and as we doing that, I decided to switch some shit up. I don't know where I'm going with this, people. I don't know where I'm going with this, but what I'm just saying is just I had to do the hard reboot my damn self. So that's why we here today, and y'all see this beautiful mug. Yes, I had to sit there and shave off because I was looking like fuzzy wuzzy. I mean, most of the times I don't care, but then also I do care. So Yeah, and but you gotta love what you do. You gotta love what you do. So after all that reboot, and after that crazy example that I just gave off, once you're doing that reboot, don't worry about how long it's gonna take. Don't worry about how long it's going to take. Take as long as you need to take, because you're going on your pace, not that person pace, not my pace, not her pace, your pace. And make sure at the end of the day, while you're going to do the restart and taking as long as you need, have a clear point, like a clear finishing point, because if you don't, you're going to be stuck on limbo for quite a while. I know. It's been like that for me. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you don't move, the universe is going to make you move. If you don't move, God's going to make you move. I'll take it as you will. Take it as you will. So anyways, that's about it for the recap for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. We're going to get better with this, though, man. We're going to get better with this. So anyways, if you're just joining me for the first time, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I deeply appreciate it if you're liking the content so far. Also, if you are a returning viewer, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, and we'll be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com, and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. I don't know why. I'm going to make sure I look at that recorder because it feels like I messed up on those lines. So let's get back into it, though, man. So sometimes you got to smile through the pain. Sometimes you got to smile through the pain. It's like this in life. Now, in life, a lot of times a lot of us, not all of us, a lot of us, we tend to float through life. A lot of us, we don't float through life. We actually put in the work. We actually, do what we need to do. And then there's some of us who just, wow. Wow, you wow. But there's the one commonality within all of us. And what's the commonality? It's pain. We're no being. Let's just, at least in this three-dimensional place, called Earth, or, whatever plane we want to get, three-dimensional plane. Within this plane, all beings who lives in this plane feel pain. Now, what type of pain is it? I don't know because, you know what? I will make a educated guess that, most beings that's alive, and when I mean beings, I'm talking about like horses, dogs, cats, rats, beings, and that's what I'm talking about, have, emotions too, so they can feel, emotional pain. So a lot of times that pain comes in and it will hurt really deep, and sometimes what you're gonna have to do, sometimes you're gonna have to just really just smile through the pain. Trust me, I know it hurts. I know it hurts, but you got to smile through the pain sometimes, because sometimes that's the only thing that you can actually really honestly do at that moment, is to actually sit back and just smile. Because you could easily just go left with the whole situation. You can sit there and crash out. You can go crazy. You can do whatever. But at that moment, the best thing I could say, in my opinion, that I have seen was just to smile. Just to sit back and just to smile. Now, even though what you're feeling is unimaginable, what you got to do, you got to look through you got to look through to the future, okay? Because I'm gonna be real with you. There's probably some individuals who's out there who's watching this video right now that's going through some shit that I would never fucking imagine, and I am not trying to imagine it, and that I'm not disregarding it or downcast or anything like that, but I I just don't, I can't imagine it, because the pain to go through. But all I can say is, first, like I said before, just find a way to just find that little smile. Just even if just a little crack, just find that little smile. Just find it, and then look towards the future. Just look towards some type of future. This may be a future of you that you can sit there and laugh honestly again, or just whatever. Something can be as simple or as grand as it can be. But while you sit there and smile, just imagine that crazy future, because what that actually really does to an individual, first of all, like when you first smile, that you're learning how to sit there and stay calm. First of all, that's what you're doing. Once you smile, you learn how to just keep calm and don't sit there and react with your emotions. Now, once you sit there and start to look through the future, like look out there, be like, "Oh, future, how's it going?" What you also doing is you setting yourself up for a task, a goal, because it gets a lot easier for you. And also, I do apologize. It's going to ring a little bit more. Let me put that on silent. So, and I lost the track. I lost track of what I was saying. That's why we need to have somebody to actually conversate, so I won't forget it. But anyway, so to get back to it, because I don't want to waste too much time on that as well too. So oh, the future. So what it does, it gives you like an idea and attacks and whatsoever, and it sets you up. So then you can go ahead and go through it and put in the work. It gets a lot easier for you to actually do it. And then while you feeling the pain, first of all you're working on yourself. That's the best way I can say. You're working on yourself, because yeah. Just trust me, okay? Trust me. It works. And then also now there's some of y'all who's probably are skeptic about just smiling through the pain. And it's like this. Sometimes you don't have to smile. Okay? Sometimes you just don't have to smile. But it does help, though. It does help. You don't have to smile. If you want to sit there and pout away. Pout away. If you want to sit there and look screw face, go ahead, screw face. It's just, once again, it's just, once you actually put a smile on your face, it helps out a little bit. It helps out a bit. It relieves it a bit, because it's like a stress reliever. When you smile, it relieves some of the stress that you have. Because let's observe this, because while you sitting there, first of all, when you sitting there feeling the negative emotions within yourself without actually having a proper release of it, because you have to have a proper release, and this just kind of came in and just let you know, just like so anyways, and as it came in and it left. That was amazing. That was amazing. But anyway, I guess it's about time for me to actually go ahead and take a break from Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. But before we do go, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button if you like the video so far. Make sure you go ahead and share this video if you think there's somebody else out there who actually need these words or also need a laugh, because I have to say, man, I'm just going everywhere, man. I have to say, I'm feeling good. So also make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not a subscriber, and we'll be right back after these breaks on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com, and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. What up? What up? Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Let's make sure we keep this like this. So today, once again, first of all, we're at the park right now. We're recording in the park. Actually, you know what? Let me put this right here. Can I put this right here? Oh, hopefully, no, it ain't gonna work right there. It's not gonna work right there. Will it work right here? Well, yeah. Huh. Well, we're trying. So to get straight into it, enough of messing around. I want to give this example when, smiling through the pain and whatsoever. There's this anime. I have watched this. I read it from manga form before it came to anime, and and I've seen some of the earlier works of the author. I do enjoy his first work. It was interesting, but anyways, it's called My Hero Academia, or My Hero Academy in English. So mainly what that series is about a bunch of power, like superpower individuals who gain superpowers, and they can either use those powers for good or either use it for evil. So there's this character named there's a few characters. The main characters is Deku. That's his name, the main character, and his main hero is All Might. Now the thing is, Deku didn't have no power, and because there's humans, and it's rare that they don't have powers. They become quirkless, and well, I'm running out of time right now, so let me go cut straight to the bullshit and whatsoever. What I'm just trying to get at, though. So what I'm just trying to get at is, once the character All Might, now the character, music going off. YouTube, don't flag me. YouTube, don't flag me. So it's like this. All Might, he's pretty much, you know, the Superman of the universe. He sit there, he carries everybody on his back, and he comes in and save people with a smile. That's his thing. He's the symbol of peace within that universe, and within that universe, everywhere he goes, when he saves people with a smile. You know, smile through the pain, wink, wink. And I remember this one episode where there was I can't remember what it was, but basically the gist of it is like the reason why he smiles and the reason why the remainder of the symbol of peace is so people can feel comfortable. Because let's think about this though, man. In a situation where like a big ass disaster happened within that universe, it like something crazy, and then all of a sudden you think everything's lost, and then there comes All Might, just comes in, saves the day. Saves the day with a smile on his face. So that does something to people. That does something to people. And like I can't remember exactly what was those words. I had it in me, man. It was right there. I was like, okay, I'm about to sit there, put in the video, and I'm about to say it just so beautifully. No, that didn't happen. But at least I actually filled the most of my time. So I do apologize that, you know, I didn't get straight to the point, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyway, I'm about to go ahead and do some more walking, and I'll be right back. Yeah, All Might and shit. So once again, I do apologize. I couldn't really get to the point that I was trying to get at, but we was almost there. I mean, because, you know, I did have to cut my plans kind of short today, so it's whatever. So other than that, I'm gonna say it like this: shit, I go through some shit. I go through a lot of shit, but I still do put a smile on my face at times. Because that's one thing I learned. It's now, even though I do say that now I say that now that I can put a smile on my face when, you know, pain comes in. But let's be real, this shit wasn't always like this. Shit wasn't always like this for me. And it took me some work to really get through there. It took me some work. Now, the easy thing is to crack a smile. That's the easy thing. Well, I should say as for me, but just keeping it and then using that was pretty difficult for me, as I say myself. Because like recently, you know, I was just going through some shit. I mean, I was not feeling it, but I had to sit back. I had to sit there and smile. I had to be like, okay, you know what? Let me smile a little bit, because shit's not fun. Shit's not great. And that's what I did. I sat there. I had to sit there and smile, because I'm not going to tell you exactly what type of pain I was going through. You know, that's for me, you know, Sony. But I will say this, though. While I was dealing with the issues with myself, I can tell you like some of the thoughts and process I was going through. I was thinking to myself like, man, I fucked up what I did, or, you know, if this didn't happen like this, then it would happen this way, or it wasn't my fault, or it was my fault. And a lot of things goes through like that, and a lot of it goes through circling within myself. So let's go back to the smiling thing. As for me, now, once I sit there and put a smile on my face, once I actually do that and be like, okay, let me go ahead and just smile real quick, just smile, it actually releases some stress for me. Because let's be real, when you sit there and when you're feeling depressed, you're screw faced and whatsoever, you tend to accumulate a lot of stress, negative emotions, and once you begin to accumulate it, it builds up. It builds up within your heart. It builds up within your spirit, your emotions, your brain, your mind. It clogs you up. It really does clog you up. So once you sit there and smile, what that does is it's like a gate. It's like a gate. And once that gate's open, it releases all the energy that's within it. So yeah, smile, man, smile. And that's what, and this is from the experience that I have learned as well too, because let's be real, this is not like something that happens overnight. If somebody can do this overnight, I have to say they're superhuman, because there's nothing over here. Nothing over here. Oh man, I mean, if it was like that, life would be so much easier. Anyways, yeah. See you in a little bit. So that was a bit of what I think about what you have to do to smile through the pain and whatsoever. And the thing is, it's not really a simple or easy task to really actually do. It's not. But it is doable. It is doable. And you can sit there and smile your way to true happiness. Now, no, before we continue on, I'm not saying, fake it till you make it. That's far from what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, do everything and do every little bit, do everything you can to change a negative to a positive. Do everything you can to change a negative to a positive, because that's what it comes down to. It because shit, there's a lot of stressful shit that's going on, and for that to really happen, you just have to take it one step at a time. Take it one day at a time. Okay, just take it one day at a time. I mean, what else you can actually do? What else you can actually really do is just take it. Truck. It's to just take it one step at a time, because when it comes down to it, the only person who can really truly regulate your thoughts and your emotions is yourself. You're the only ones that can sit there and actually put in the work. It's like this. There's nobody else that's going to save you but you yourself. So while you're saving yourself and doing all the work yourself, you can take your own time, take yourself time. I know I said like, I wanted to say it like that, but take your time, man, that's when it comes down to it. And that's the beautiful thing of, working on yourself and taking it one day at a time. Because you can take your time. Because when you're going through pain, when you're going through tribulations, there is no easy way to do it. There is no easy answer. I mean, you can do the best you can. The best thing you can do is pray that you actually made the right choice. Because let's be real, there's going to be some people who is going to be like that, who is probably going to make the wrong choice and probably won't make the wrong choice. There's going to be people who's going to sit there and who's going to do everything they can to actually make the situation better. So when it comes down to it, it depends on what you are as a person and what you're going to do next. But anyways, that's about it for it. I was planning on to go to, the Chevyville and whatsoever, but I decided to just, walk around the neighborhood because it's going to rain and maybe snow. And since I'm like walking and I'm not really driving, I don't want to take that risk. So anyways, if you just joined me for the first time, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Once you subscribe, Make sure you share this video. Anyways, thank you for joining me in my corner of the universe. Peace. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So, hopefully, once again, y'all enjoying me going to different places and whatsoever, and just, communicating and whatsoever. And before we get into the conversation, I want to be able to actually add in your thoughts and your comments and your messages in the beginning of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze every week, instead of just doing, show intro. So please let me know in the comments, just, hit me up so we can go ahead and conversate. Anyways, let's get into it. And let's take your time. Ponson. Yeah, I gotta take my time with this though. I gotta sit there, be a lot more smooth with this. So now, after all that, where you're going through and those examples, you're probably sitting there and asking myself, you asking me like, that's good and all though, Sony. I hear you out. You gotta smile through the pain, and we also heard about this and that, but how do we smile through the pain? Like, how do we do it? Well, the most simplest answer that I can give is just to smile. That's the best thing I can say. There really isn't no miraculous trick to actually go and do to smile through the pain. There's no technique. You don't need somebody to teach you. There's no guru or anything like that. There's no sessions or YouTube or podcasts. What I'm saying is, when it comes down to it, you just have to sit there and just smile. Even though, right here, you feeling it right here. You feeling, I know you, bruh, sis, I know you feeling it right here. But you just gotta smile. Now, also, like I said earlier, if you don't want to smile, if you just want to be screw face and all that, by all means, go right ahead. Nobody's just not blaming you or whatsoever. You're your own person, and you go through the experience and situations the best way that you can actually do. So just do what you can. So there's no pressure at all. No pressure. So once it comes down to it, there is no grand teaching or anything like that. You just have to pretty much smile. It's more like a on or off switch. Now, even though you hit the on switch and smile, doesn't mean the pain will go away automatically. So it's just, what it does is it gives you a opportunity to go ahead and just start to do something, start smiling and whatsoever. Now, while you do smile, and once you get to the point that you be able to smile through the pain, what it does when you smile through the pain, like what it really does, like I said before, it's like a gateway. It's like a gateway. And what do I mean by gateway? It's a gateway to let the the energy of your emotions go through. You know, energy going through. With your emotions, energy, emotion. So I can't sit there and then claim that little saying that credit goes out, and when I heard it from Infinite Waters. So to continue on, it's a gate that opens in through the energies and whatsoever. And once you sit there and start to smile, you begin to teach your body to learn how to, I won't say contain, but to sit with the emotions and not to actually place the emotions, or I should say react to your emotions. Instead of just reacting with your emotions, you begin to learn how to respond with your emotions. Now, once you sit there and smile, and once you begin to respond with your emotions, you begin to actually go ahead and be able to do things that you never be able to thought that you'd be able to do. Because the thing is about it is, think of it as an exchange of energy or whatsoever. Like, all that negative energy, is energy. All that negative energy is energy. So while you up and at them with all this energy, use that energy to do something constructive. So, like, go ahead and paint or something. So, play video games and broadcast or something. Sit there, start drawing, start coding, just start, do some carpentry. Just use that energy that you're accumulating from that negative energy that you're feeling. Because like I said before, once you smile, it's a gateway. Once you're in pain, it's a gateway. And once you open that gate, you be able to go ahead and regulate that energy that comes in, just so it can just flows right. And once it just flows right, you be able to actually use that flowing energy to do things that you would never have done before. So in closing, sometimes you just got to smile through the pain, because we're going to go through life. It doesn't matter what type of being that you are. It doesn't matter if you're a horse, you're a dog, you're a cat, you're a human, you're a Neanderthal. Everybody's going to go through some type of pain, some type of pain. And as humans, we have the ability to smile through the pain. So sometimes you just got to just smile through it. Just smile for me. So even though what you're feeling is unimaginable, because let's be real, what you're feeling is I don't know what you're feeling. It's pretty much crazy, but the thing is, whatever that the feeling that you having, don't focus on it, because that's your feeling. Focus on that future that you got, that you got down there, that you that's watching this. Focus on that future over there. Yes. And sometimes and for some of y'all who's out there, sometimes you don't have to smile all the time. You don't have to smile all the time, okay? You don't have to smile all the time. But it does help, okay? Let's be real. It does help. It does actually helps you go throughout the day and whatever. Be like, yeah, it is pretty nice. Also, like the example that I gave, with All Might, and the thing about him, that he always put a smile on his face, It's because first of all, he's the symbol of peace, and also with him going up towards this disastrous place and saying like I'm here with a smile on his face, it gives people comfort. It gives people comfort, and that's why you had to sit there and put a smile on your face when you need to, because it sit there and comforts you. It sit back and actually really comforts your soul and whatsoever. So that's all what it does. That's all what it does. It's just yeah, and I go through a lot too myself. Okay, I go through a lot myself too, and when I do go through some things, I do smile. I do smile. I do. I especially this day and age now, because it wasn't like that before. Because I was all screw face and everything. But as we get older, I begin better at smiling, even though they're at the bad times. And when it comes down to it, you just gotta take it one day at a time. Just take it one day at a time. Just breathe in and just take your time with it. Just take your time. And also, what can you do to go ahead and smile through the pain? And how do you smile through the pain, I should say? It's just smile. There is no classes or anything like that. There is no teachings. There's no special way to do it. All you just do is just smile. That's where you start. So anybody can do it. All you have to do is just smile. You don't need anything else but that. And then once you go, and what it does to go ahead, what y'all can see I'm still working on my closings. But what it does when you actually do smile through the pain, what it does for you? Well, first of all, it helps you actually regulate your emotions, because what's going on is energy that you're accumulating, and you need to disperse that energy somewhere else, and that's one of the things that it helps you do. And also, I forgot the last thing I was going to say, but we're just going to leave it just like that, because I'm just forgetting everything. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this episode of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, and we're going to get even better and better episodes of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze coming up very, very soon. And make sure you go ahead, if you're just joining me for the first time, make sure you go ahead and like it. And also, if you do like this video as well too, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Just go ahead and just push that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. If you also want to be a guest, please let me know. Peace.